the more automation you can create in your business, the easier it is to run. And the reality is, there are tools out there now like Zapier and Make.com that pretty much can automate like 90% of your work. It's getting a little scary. It's cool, but it's overwhelming to implement. So, here are some of the top Zapier automations that I use in our growth firm with myself and with our clients to automate workflows a little bit better and make it easier to keep track of lead gen, sales enablement, client fulfillment, internal operations, and more. Check them out. Okay, so I'm in my Zapier account now. You can pop these open. You can see that you can set up like client folders over here, or you can just do your internal zaps in your main folder. So the first one that I'll go through is every time there's a booked call, basically a sales call, right, or a discovery call, I want to send that to our email newsletter and have that be a consistent place where people are kind of getting nurtured every single week if I send out a couple emails per week, right? So you're going to want to hop over here and connect your Calendly account, which you can see I already connected. And then you want to do a filter step in Zapier, which will pretty much filter a discovery call. So it's only happening when the name of the event matches the discovery call. And then it simply just sends it over to create a subscriber in Beehive, which is our email newsletter provider. So then I can hop into Beehive, subscribe, send them to that weekly newsletter or that, bi-weekly newsletter, puts them in the free tier. If they've previously unsubscribed them, I can actually reactivate their subscription. And then I can send a welcome email, which is just like the welcome flow that automatically goes out to them as soon as they book a call, which is really nice. Or you can delay it a little bit. And then I have the UTM source just set up as Calendly. So they just came from a booked call or they came from, someone booking that discovery call. And that's pretty much it. That's the first one. The second one is that whenever someone books a call, you want to actually update their data in a Google Sheet CRM. Now, the reason I do this, my belief is that raw data is better than cluttered data. So if you have data in places like Salesforce or Pipedrive, all that stuff, Notion, it's pretty cluttered and it takes a lot more work to basically declutter that data, make sure that the contacts are sorted properly, that the source fields are the way that you want them to look, all that good stuff. So instead of that, I basically just have this big CRM, and I'll actually pull it up here. CRM, it's just basically a list of all the leads that I've engaged with that are either interested or they are, they've booked a call. I've had a demo call with them if I need to follow up later, right? Hundreds of leads just from like the recent past few months, right? So these are all for our business. Some are in the demo stage, whatever. I have automation set up to just send them here. And you can see that some of the data is a little bit messy because not all of them have like LinkedIn links, not all of them have websites. But the nice thing is that they're all in one place and it's just all in a raw spreadsheet so that I don't have to worry about it if I ever want like a data engineer to clean it up and do anything with it. Now, the nice part about this is you can still just route this easily to your CRM. So that's what we have set up. But at first, I just want to basically make sure that they're in here whenever someone is booked. Now, I already have some automation set up to basically send all these leads in here from multiple sources. So when someone's interested on LinkedIn, I just click something and they get put in here. If I have someone interested on Instantly, our cold email software, they get routed into the sheet. And then it has like the campaign that they're put into. So I can keep track of everything. Like, where did this lead come from? What's the name of the campaign? I have information about the sales calls. I have the sales call link here. If I've taken an initial discovery call with them, I have their potential value, their actual value, all that stuff. So super useful data. And in the Zap, it basically just looks like filtered conditions. So you have an event created in Calendly, and then it goes and finds their row in the spreadsheet. And it filters for just the discovery call. So if the name exactly matches the discovery call, it looks up the row in Google Sheets using their email, right? So I have their email input, and then it'll just look them up. And then you can basically input all of their info and then have it update the spreadsheet row. So usually you would have to hop in here and be like, oh, like it's a demo call. Like I need to change this to demo. Or like this is a demo now. Like I need to change that. Or this is a disco call, like a discovery call. But all that manual work is gone, and it makes it really easy just because it automatically updates it. And then when you sync it with your CRM, it just automatically syncs to your CRM and moves it to a new stage. So that's super nice. An absolutely essential automation that you have to have set up in your business is cold outreach to Slack. Super easy, two-step zap. But how many times have you had a lead sitting in your cold email software or sitting in LinkedIn or on some form fill that someone just missed, or some sales team or salesperson on your team just didn't follow up with? And then like 2 months later, you look and you're like, holy crap, I can't believe that this person wanted to buy from us. They've been sitting in our CRM unanswered for a full month. That should never happen. And a good way to stop that is you basically take whatever platform you're using. So in this case, we send a lot of cold email and we use a tool called Instantly. And what you want to do is just connect your workspace. And then whenever there's a new event here, and then you filter the event type to just whenever a lead is marked as interested, which will automatically happen through Instantly's AI. So they just kind of like automatically mark the lead as interested if there's like a positive response. And usually you'll have like a virtual assistant or someone responding to the leads too that can manually do that. But for the most part, it's pretty automated and it's pretty accurate. And whenever that happens, it automatically sends a message to a Slack channel. And the Slack channel is just called leads. So I just have that in our workspace. Everyone can see it. And it just sends this message where it says first name, last name from their website is interested in Zunisty. Connect with them at their personal LinkedIn URL. Right. So all that data is coming from Instantly, which I had already uploaded. And you can just send it as a bot, and then the bot name is called Instantly, and you can add a little icon if you want, and then it just drops into a specific Slack channel that I have titled leads, but you could send it into your general or your sales channel anywhere. So that's an absolutely essential one because it reduces the chance of missing any leads. And I got to be honest, it feels pretty good to get like 5-10 messages a day where you're like, okay, John Smith is interested in Zunisty. You can connect with him here at his website and his LinkedIn. And then you just automatically click over there. And it's super easy. So that's an absolutely essential thing that you need to set up. A perfect automation that you absolutely need in your business is login code verification. So unfortunately, when you are trying to have multiple logins, I know sometimes it's great where you're going to have a LastPass and everything's perfect and everyone has their own account, but that's just not the reality. Most of the times you're giving an assistant your login for some tool that doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. You don't have to have it be super secure. You just want to give them access to like Canva, and you just give them your login instead of making them a seat because you want to save some money. But they ask you for login codes all the time. Super annoying. We don't want that to happen. So instead, what I do is connect my Gmail account. So that's your personal account or whatever account is associated with your other logged in accounts. And then you do a filter step where you say, if the from email exactly matches the place where it's coming from, right? The place where the login code comes from. This is for two-factor authentication. Then send a Slack message with the body of the email. So now anytime I get an email where it's like, your login code is X, Y, and Z, it just automatically sends the code to a Slack channel that everyone has access to called login codes. So super easy, completely eliminates back and forth. You never have to worry about it again. And if you have multiple accounts where this needs to happen, then you can add like multiple steps. It's like if it matches this, or if it matches this, or if it matches this, and then it'll send from like all the accounts within one Zap, and then your team can just have access to it easily. So, okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed going through some of those Zaps and some of the automations you can set up. Those are pretty easy ones. They're not too complicated. As long as you Want to save time and you have an extra couple hours on a Saturday morning, just go set these things up in your business because they're really easy. And once you set them up, you don't really have to think about it or touch them ever again. And once you do it, you'll realize why it's so important and why people are so addicted to creating automations because it's so great.